Hello everyone, my name is Jadebird and welcome back to Fare Thee Well. So we're just gonna jump into it. Mike, that's the end of the set. Get over there and ask her to join us. Candace, are you sure that's a good idea? Of course it is! All of my ideas are good ideas. If it were anyone else, I'd disagree. Come on, Michael, get out there. Michael closes his eyes, tenses his body, and hesitantly walks toward the stage. This ought to be good. We should be able to hear them from here. Well, you should be able to hear them from here. Senses of a damn hawk, I tell ya. You flatter me. As Rosa finishes the final verse of her set, the dwindling crowd offers up a surprising applause. After the applause dies down, Michael approaches the stage with an ounce of reluctance. Rosa, who is gathering her things, notices him and welcomes him with a greeting, catching him somewhat off guard. Candace was right. I can hear them, though just barely. Oh, hello there. You work here, right? Yes, I work here. The Clover wants to come inside. Hi, little one. Hi, little one. Oh, you're so tiny. You're so tiny. Oh, my tiny little cutie pie. Oh, she's licking my hand. That classic awkward Michael charm is second to none. Well, my name's Rosa. What about you? Oh, me? I'm Michael. Rosa tucks her hair behind her ear. It's nice to meet you, Michael. Yeah, you too. Rosa waves and begins to walk away. Wait, excuse me, Rosa? Rosa turns back to face Michael. Yes? What is it? I was wondering if you're not busy, if you'd like to join my friends and I for a drink? Well, I haven't got any plans, so count me in. Michael is clearly surprised that the answer came as easily as it did. Really? Rosa stifles a giggle and smiles. I haven't got any other plans, and I'm sure you and your friends will be fun. Michael's face lights up with joy. Well, in that case, we're sitting right over here. What are they saying? Quiet, they're coming. Oh, Michael is laying down the moves, I see. You're having too much fun with this. Candace lets a carefree laugh out. I'm not having enough fun. Hey guys, this is Rosa. After some quick introductions, Candace makes everyone drinks. These are on the house. We all cheer for Candace's hospitality together. Thank you, Candace. That's too kind of you. I listen in as the other three around the table share their stories, occasionally pitching in my own experiences. Michael and Rosa are fast friends, and by the end of the first hour the pair get along as if they'd known each other all their lives. The bar's patrons dwindle until we are the only people left in the building, but even after everyone else is gone, we stay, sharing stories of loss and of hope, of dreams and regrets. Rosa begins to tell her story, and her eyes light up with a childlike happiness. When I was younger, all I ever wanted to do was go to school to study music. It has always been my passion. So I worked at it from the time I first saw a future in it until I had realized the dream. But the light in our eyes fades into a quiet sadness. When I finally made it to music school, it just didn't feel right. I had worked so hard for so long, year after year, but the culmination of my entire childhood led me to disappointment. But I was still determined. Never mind that I couldn't seem to make any friends or do well in my classes. Music was still my passion, so everything else must be damned. Everything else be damned. Rosa wipes a tear from her cheek. I like how fuckface over here is just smiling, and fuckface number 2 over here is just smiling, and she's just like, you guys don't give a shit about her, do you? Like, I know we're just focusing on her, but like, at the very least, you could have these two sprites change facial expressions during her story, so at least, like, it looks like they actually give a shit. For all of my effort and determination, halfway through my first year, I dropped out. I hit rock bottom. Just look at them! They just don't give a shit! Or she's just like telling like her sob story, and these two are just like, yeah, we don't give a shit. I've hated myself for quitting, but I never saw an alternative. I wasn't happy, and I'm sure as hell not happy now, but I'm better than I was. So I can say with certainty that I don't regret making that decision. What I'm unsure about is where I'm going now. All I have is my music and the will to keep moving forward, so since leaving school I've been traveling wherever the music takes me. I hope that it can one day lead me to true happiness. I guess for now, I'm just along for the ride. Candace raises her glass. She's like, you're finally done. Well, hell, I'll drink to that. Rosa nods gratefully to Candace and turns to Michael. Oh, now his expression changes. Now his expression changes. He didn't give a shit about her when she was just telling a story, but now that she's like actually looking at him, he's just like, oh, I'm so sorry. You poor thing. I guess I could say I understand some of those feelings. I finished school, but it hasn't really done me much good. As soon as I graduated, I came right back home to Setter. And I didn't just come back for my mother. Of course I had to, given her health these days, but even if she were in good health, I know I'd still be back here. I feel kind of like I'm in some kind of void, stuck between childhood and true adulthood. Something is holding me back, but I don't know what it is. And I can't for the life of me figure out why. The idea that Michael was drawn back to Setter makes me chuckle. In my experience, getting away from Setter is one hell of a task. Not that Setter is a bad place, mind you, it just has this pull, for lack of a better word. Candace nods in agreement. Setter has always been good to me and mine. Candace waves a hand over her shoulder, motioning to the empty hearth and home. This old girl's been in the family for 4 generations now. My father, granddad, and great-granddad all put their lives into this place, and I'll be damned if I don't do the same. But this life isn't for everyone. Maybe you just need to broaden your horizons, see more of what's out there? Michael considers this for a moment. Maybe, but I haven't really felt like my life ever needed to start somewhere else. Then what are you missing, Mike? Michael slumps in defeat. I honestly don't know. Out of the 3 of them, I can relate most to Rosa. She seems to feel like there isn't a place where she belongs. Even so, I can sympathize with Michael and Candace. But unlike myself or Rosa, Candace is very deeply rooted here in Setter. Though I've grown to consider her a close friend, we're about as different can get. Michael reminds me of Emmeline, which of course comes as no surprise. He likes his life in Setter, but he's mindful of his future and where it might take him. I look up from my empty glass, which I had been absent-mindedly turning over in my hand, and catch Rosa's eye. She curiously meets my gaze. So, how about you? Do you have any grandiose dreams or aspirations? Any miserable failures that landed you where you are now? Huh, yeah, quite a few more than I can count on this point. She narrows her eyes in suspicion. Clearly I've piqued her interest. I used to be a lot like you, looking for somewhere I could belong, going wherever the road took me. There's nothing wrong with that, no shame in it whatsoever. It takes time to discover who you are, to find out who you want to be. So what advice can you give me? Advice? I hardly think I'm qualified to be giving advice to anyone. I'm not concerned with qualifications, I just want to hear what a similar mind has to tell me. In that case, the best thing I can offer you is this. For the longing that you're searching for, you may never find it. Were circumstances different, I might still be searching for it. What you can do that will make all the difference is really quite simple. Life is going to go on regardless of what you do. Don't just let it happen, take charge of your own life. Even though you may not find what you search for, it will make that search easier. I've always had trouble putting this into words. It's been in the back of my mind for as long as I can remember, but words always seem to fail me. I guess what I'm trying to say is that you aren't going to find what you're looking for if you are so caught up in your search that you can't see what's in front of you. Rosa sits back in her chair looking rather confused. I'm sorry if that doesn't make sense. I'm not the best with speaking my thoughts. She shakes her head. No, I think I understand. Candace laughs her usual laugh. I have no idea what you just said, but I know you're probably right. Anyhow, it looks like we could all use another round. I'll be right back. As Candace goes to retrieve our drinks, my thoughts wander to Emmeline, as they so often do. Tell me, Michael, how is Emmeline doing these days? Oh shit, that was... What happened there? What? Hours pass and it's clear that we all have reached our limit. The clock behind the bar reads 3:36. Well, that's gonna be it for this episode of Fare Thee Well. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this and would like to see more of this game, then leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!